have a really cool way to document your playtime with your dog. Now, I have a very high energy English Springer Spaniel. Lucy loves to play at all times, would play day and night if I let her. And so first thing in the morning, I really like to take her outside and have a good playtime with her to get a lot of that energy out so she's not as antsy or pent up during the day while I'm working and while we're doing other things. So an early morning playtime is really, really helpful. And I love to use her flirt pole. I use this in the traditional way. I get creative with how we're using it. So I'll drag it across the grass, but I'll also hold it up so she has to jump for it. We have lots of ways that we can be using these flirt poles, and we've talked about that in other episodes. But I like documenting this more than anything. Here's the deal. When it comes to documenting using your flirt pole, the best thing that you can do is put your camera source down on the ground in the grass. We're talking your phone or your camera should be down in the grass with grass in the foreground if possible. That really makes it look like a movie camera is in the grass just watching you play with your dog, and it's so great. It looks less posed. It's very lifestyle. It's very organic, and it just feels really cozy, like this is your cozy girl, cozy guy moment with your dog. And it's just, I love it. It's just some of my favorite footage. So you get your camera source down nice and low. Hopefully you'll have some blades of grass that are kind of there so that they are between, again, the camera lens and you. When you put this down, make sure it's not too high that it's going to be blocking you. You do not want the grass so high that you can't see yourself around it. So if you have to pull some blades of grass, feel free to do that. You're just checking that before you start playing. And then you just set it down. Now, if you're doing this in early morning or in later evenings, the best thing you can do is face your camera toward the sun, or so have the sun is somewhere in your frame. This way, it is going to make really beautiful, sparkly golden content. You're going to get beautiful skies because you are down low in the grass. You're going to get that lifestyle look, but beautiful skies. The horizon is going to block the neighbors' houses and the driveways and the trash cans and the mailboxes, so it looks nice and clear. But you also get the sparkly light, which means you're going to be in shadow. It will illuminate you and make you look really glowy and gorgeous. Your dog is going to be all outlined, but the front of you will also be in shadows. So if you're somebody who didn't put your makeup on that day, that's okay. If you're somebody who doesn't like your face or the way you look or the way your hair is or your body or whatever, it puts you in darkness, so you're not seeing a lot of your features. So you get all the benefits of the golden glow and the playtime and all the fun without having to worry too much about your appearance, because not a lot of it's going to be seen. So you get this very intimate look at your time with your dog, playing and having fun and exercising and enriching your dog, but you don't have to feel super self-conscious about it. So if you are then aiming it toward the sun, your goal here is now to play with your dog. So you're going to drag that flirt pole around on the ground. You're going to put it up in the air if you want your dog to jump. You're going to do different things, and you're going to do this in different sequences. So sometimes you're going to be up close to that camera. Keep an eye on it. Pay attention to where you are so you're not cutting off your head or anything, and play with your dog for a few minutes. Then go further back. You don't even have to move the camera source, although I do love moving my camera source. So I'll film for a minute at a time or a minute and a half, and then I'll move the angle so I have different angles. Sometimes I'll have it so that the sun is backlighting us and we're in shadows, and sometimes I'll move off to the side so the sun is off screen on the side, but giving us this beautiful golden glow so everything is seen. We now see features, we now see colors, we now see everything, but it's not going to be super harsh. And so I like to move it around just because I like the variety, but you don't have to. You can do whatever you need to do. And so your body is going to move further away. So you want up close, you want a medium range, and you want a far away range. This shows that you're playing with your dog, that you're doing different things. You can do time lapse, you can do different sequences, like you're telling a story of where you're going and how you're playing. But I also recommend you're mixing up how you are playing. So again, drag it on the ground, lift it up in the air, do a combination of both, make it wavy, whatever you need to do. But then you're going to do it where you're just moving your hand around your body and you're standing still. That's going to get you a good clip. More so than that, you do want to spin your body and move the entire thing. So you're not just kind of moving it around, you transferring hands or whatever. You can, but that's not going to give you your best footage. You want to move your entire body and keep it directly in front of you. And if you pay attention to where you are, you're not going to get dizzy as you do it. But then another really fun thing to do is for you to run. I run with my dog all the time. And so I'll start off by doing circles to get some of her energy out without expending too much of my energy. And once she has kind of taken it down a notch, now I get involved and I start running around the yard. And so I have it out to the side and she'll chase me and I'll kind of spin it around my body and I'll do spins as I'm running and all the fancy things. But that gives you this really cool footage where you're very clearly involved and enjoying time with your dog and having fun and being engaged and all of those things. And it's just magical. Like, it is the movie magic we all wait for when we're creating content of us and our dogs. This is your moment. So you have a lot that you can do with this. Get the camera source low, black out stuff with the horizon, shoot up at the sky, get the sun in there if possible, and then really just lean into positioning yourself in different places and be smart enough every 60 to 90 seconds or so to move the camera if you need. Or if you're really engaged, leave it in one place. That's fine. But if you can move it like 2 or 3 times during the course of your play, now you have a ton of angles and you can stitch together all sorts of stories, whether you're putting these on social media, sharing them with your friends and family, or you're just creating for the sake of having that for posterity for yourself. You can tell these stories, you can do these different things, and you have options. And the bonus to this is if you're constantly moving your camera source, even if something goes wrong, you still have other clips. So if you set it down and there is a blade of grass in the way, it only wrecks that one clip. If you set it down and a butterfly lands there, or there's a ladybug crawling on the grass, it's only getting in the way of that one clip. If you move it and you don't like where the sun was, it's only that one clip and you have other options. So moving it around definitely works to your benefit. Now, I do recommend having a mount to set your phone in. We've talked about that in other episodes. I will link our tech playlist down below, but you can lean it up against a fence. You can just kind of prop it up against things, whatever's going to work best for you. A mount typically is going to be your best bet because it's going to hold it in place so it doesn't tip over. It might not be as rocky as some of the other locations. I definitely put my phone just in the grass the other day and it was fine for a minute, but then it kind of tipped in the grass and the whole thing just like tipped to the side. So if you have a mount, it's not going to do that. But there's lots of options. Make best choices with what you have, level up as you go, and really lean into documenting your playtime with your dog because it's fun and it's magical and it's movie-esque and it's fantastic and it's going to be something that you want later on. And the way you do it can make you feel less self-conscious about you being in the content if that's something you struggle with, or it can just illuminate you and make you gorgeous because you already love being on camera. So you've got tons of options here. Drop your questions down below. I will link my flirt pole because my gosh, it is the coolest thing ever. It's from Amazon. It's very affordable. I love it. It comes with multiple toys. Also link my phone mount down below, but I have that full playlist so that you can learn how to take better photos and documentation of your dog and tech and gear that might help you to level up with the content you are creating. So follow along for more, drop your questions, let me know if you're going to try this in the comment section, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.